Radio, VA1 Radio. VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio.
Our Almighty God, Creator of heaven and earth, Father and lover of our soul, you sit on your throne of mercy and rule with your love and faithfulness. You are full of grace. We acknowledge your presence in our lives. Nothing is hidden in your eyes, even our challenges and struggles in life. We come to you with faith. We ask not only for our daily spiritual bread, but to seek your forgiveness and undeserving favor to heal our land, our family members, our friends and neighbors, even our enemies with COVID-19 and other diseases. Holy Spirit, help us to deepen our faith and see the opportunity to believe, obey, and worship. As we face this pandemic, you are Lord and God. Encourage us and change our hearts, not to fear, but to be full of hope and find ourselves praying and meditating your word. We believe no works of the enemy prosper to your children. Abba, Father, we believe that your Son Jesus Christ is Lord and Savior. He is the truth and our salvation. Hear our prayers, O Lord, and most of all, not our will, but thy will be done. We pray this in Jesus' name, the name above all names, who was and is to come. Amen.
Naghahatid saya sa mga Pinoy, mga kanta at programang Tatak Pinoy. Napapanood at napapakinggan kahit saan ka man. Streaming worldwide. In South Manila, this is V81 Radio.
Malayo ka man sa iyong pamilya, dito ay hindi ka nag-iisa. Tiyak ito'y iyong hahanap-hanapin, dahil ito ang nagpapasaya sa atin. VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio. Dahil mahal namin kayo. VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio. Ito ang paborito ng bawat Pilipino. Basta all hits, all Pinoy, panalo. Merong kwentong iyakan at tawanan. Kahit nasaan ka man, ito'y mapapakinggan. VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio. Dahil mahal namin kayo. VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. Dahil mahal namin kayo. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio.
The views and opinions expressed by the host do not necessarily state or reflect those of the company and its management. Furthermore, the views and opinions of the guests do not reflect those of the host, the show, this station, the management, and the network. Welcome to Pride and Proud Asia, Asia's first online radio show that champions LGBT contribution and leadership in business and in our country and the region. Hosted by the Philippine LGBT Chamber of Commerce, Visibility, Representation, and Empowerment. This is Pride and Proud Asia. Happy Pride!
Happy Pride, everyone! Welcome to another episode of Pride and Proud Asia, Episode 2, Season 2. And tonight, I just want to remind everyone that we're putting a spotlight on LGBT plus leadership and inspiring stories in business and beyond. I'm your host, your equality advocate, your partner in LGBT business, your Chief Rampa Officer, Ronn Astillas. And this online show is presented by the Philippine LGBT Chamber of Commerce in partnership with V81 Radio Manila. In Pride and Proud Asia, we wish to share stories that will make you see us more, hear us more, and love us more. Kaya't huwag na tayo magpatumpik-tumpik pa at simulan na natin ang episode 2, Give Me More, Why We Need More Out and Proud LGBTQIA+ athletes. And of course, para sa extrang saya at kulay sa episode na ito, gusto kong tawagin ang ating mga kasama sa LGBT plus rights and inclusion, ang ating co-host, the Power Aktibista in Heels, Angel Romero, and of course, ang nagbabalik, na-miss natin siya, the Skin Sensei himself, Dr. Winlove Mojica. Happy Pride, Angel and Win! Kamusta?
Happy Pride, Ron and Doc Winlove.
Hi, Ron.
Hi, Win.
Angel.
Ako.
Happy Pride. Kamusta?
Happy.
Bisihan.
Oo nga, busy.
Tayo busy.
Para nag-iba itsura mo. It's been a while, hindi ka namin nakita, Win.
What do you mean? Pumayat pa ako? Hindi ako pumayat. Di lang ako nag-shave. Kaya
Lalo naging fresh.
Fresh.
Para
bumata ka, in fairness.
Chosera.
Charot.
Kamusta? At anong pinagkakabalahan natin? Ngayon, it's another weekend. Sana naman ay meron kayong weekend to begin with, di ba?
Si Jel muna.
Jel.
Well, busy sa work pero trying to get by. And nandito ako ngayon sa house ng cousin ko. Kasi meron kaming
Cousin
Kaya nga, at tamang-tama yung ating episode for tonight. Dahil nandito ako sa kwarto ng cousin ko na player ng Ateneo. At ay coach siya ng UP, UP men's basketball team. So,
correct.
Swak na swak.
Go Ateneo, char!
UP na siya ngayon. So,
UP na. Sige na. Sige, supportahan pa rin naman natin. So, Winnie, ikaw, kamusta? Kamusta pagkakabisihan natin? Humihinga pa?
Oo, busy ako. So many errands kasi may ginawa dun sa place ng parents ko. So nag-swap kami ng lugar kasi may ibang tao so I don't want them to get exposed.
True.
Dito muna sila sa bahay. So ngayon okay na yung place nila. Balik ako dito sa bahay. Tapos linis-linis. Yeah. So toxic. And then I just finished seeing patients. Yung usual clinic time ko is 4 to 6. So, madali ako kaagad na nag-log in.
Hayaan mo na itong oras na to. time for you to decompress, sinasabi nga nila. Mag-relax with us. Alam mo naman, every time you talk to us, you feel enlightened. Definitely.
Are you sure?
Of course.
Yung
Ikaw
days
kausap
na-
ko, nasistress ako. Si Angel pa pagkausap ko, chill lang kami. Pero pag ikaw, may assignment pag ikaw ang kausap mo.
Okay, sinasabi ni Winlove yan kasi kung hindi yun po nalalaman, kami po yung magkakasama sa LGBT Chamber of Commerce. So sa organization naman po, marami kami mga activities and we always highlight po yung importance ng diversity, equality or equity and inclusion in the workplace, in best practices, sharing of best practices, and of course the leadership ng LGBT in business and beyond. Kumbaga. So there, and nako, ang dami mga nangyayari. So umpisa na natin, huwag na tayo magpatumpik-tumpik pa siguro. No? Pwede ba nating, ready ka na ba win sa mga rainbow news for tonight?
Natuwa ka sa mga updates Ang daming good news. Merong not so good news, pero parang mas maraming good news.
Correct. Umpisa na natin ang ating unang rainbow news kasi inaabangan ito ng mga viewers natin. Di ba? Jan, ikaw mag-umpisa nito ng rainbow news.
Alam
Go.
nyo, ginugal ko siya. Parang kilala ko siya dahil parang hindi naman starlet, pero parang artista siya dati. Starlet. Hindi, parang artista siya dati. Sorry. Parang teeny bopper or something, di ba? Parang entertainment. Joed Serrano. So,
oh my God.
Yes, si Joed Serrano, oo.
So, openly gay film and concert producer pala siya. I didn't know. And nag-seek siya ng post in the Senate to represent, of course, the community. I think, hindi ko alam, but based on the last time that I checked, ngayon nakakita talaga ng openly out na gay man running for Senate. Yung open and out. So this is good news for me. I mean, representation, diba? And visibility. And binabandera niya ang ating bandila kung papala rin siya sa Senado.
Ako ang reaction niya. Ay, go win.
Diba? Parang siya, artista siya dati.
Artista siya, tas crush ko siya.
Oo.
Mga
pang-batch niya.
From Tony Alarcon.
That's entertainment or something. Parang gano'n, diba?
Sinong
collab team niya dati?
Daddy na siya ngayon.
Sinong collab team niya dati? I forgot
Hindi ko na matandaan.
Basta yun. So, ginugal ko talaga siya.
Oo. Pasensya na sa ako sa na-deal na talaga ako, Katniel na naabutan ko.
Hoy!
Julia Barreto na naabutan niya.
Oo. Paki-educate. Naabutan ko na Pia Wurzbach sa kayong jowa niya na ngayon. So, yun na yun.
Ron, totoo. Charot.
Anyway, ako...
Representation of the Senate.
Representation. This is good news for me. I mean, yun nga, parang ngayon lang ako nakarinig ng someone out running for Senate. I think ang meron lang, si Geraldine Roman is in Congress, but diba, trans woman. Sa Senate, alam ko merong mga closet pero ito out. So, I guess this is a good thing, diba?
Grabe
guys,
ka.
remember.
Sinabi mo may closet sa Senate. Sino kaya doon?
Sorry, may disclaimer nga ako. Remember, it's not our business to out people.
Exactly. Hindi ko sinabi. Come out in their own.
Public service announcement din to. We're trying to remind everyone, it's not our business to tag or to out people. Yan.
Meron akong
Go ahead.
I think
sorry.
Ako ang reaction ko dyan, give me more. Can we have more candidates like him, no? Na talagang brave enough to really go against the usual standards of politicians that we've been seeing.
Yeah.
Kerry, approve pa? Ako, go win.
Okay yung representation, pero of course, we have to check kung ano yung platform niya, ano yung mga gusto niya gawin, di ba? Katulad ng sinasabi natin, hindi lang dapat parang women empowerment, empowered women, na parang we're boosting women. Dapat kilatisin din natin, hindi porket babae, mabuting tao, di ba, Jel? Sabi mo. So, kailangan pa rin natin alamin ang kanilang mga agenda, ang kanilang authenticity. Hindi lang basta
plataforma.
Correct.
That's
I
the
agree.
word, authenticity.
Correct.
Okay.
So that's right. So we will also look at their track record. So we move to the next one, please. Let's have more candidates running. next news, Taiwan's LGBTQ plus community calls for more friendliness. What do we know about this, Jel? Ako, ang alam ko lang, Taiwan is really progressive. They have the
Ako
equality
rin.
marriage, di ba? So, I will not be surprised if
Um,
they're calling the community to be more friendly to the LGBT plus.
I think kasi parang, well, alam naman natin Taiwan, di ba? They have the biggest Pride March. I actually went there like in the last time, and it's really, parang the community there is very vibrant, and parang lahat ng tao talaga, they're really inclusive. But yun nga, baka it's beyond that eh. Kasi parang lagi natin sinasabi, kahit dito sa Pilipinas, 'di ba? Parang accepted na naman na yung mga people of diverse so GSC. Pero ang totoo, it's just tolerance. So I guess it's also a reminder for us that we should go beyond like the go beyond, hindi lang tayo dapat just accepting, tolerating, I don't like the word, but more accepting and inclusive. Doc Win?
Yeah, I agree, no? So, excited nga ako kasi I've never been to Taiwan outside of the airport. Hanggang doon lang ako sa Hello Kitty
Ang
na
saya,
Taiwan.
ang saya sa
Pupunta
Pride
tayo.
March.
Magsama tayo
punta
kung tayo
tayo.
Punta
lahat.
tayo, schedule natin eh. Kasi hopefully matapos na itong pandemic by mid-year next year. So let's travel again, and I'd really like to see yung Pride sa Taiwan. So this is good news. This is good
Ang
news
tanong
if your government is leading equality and equity and all regarding whether you are gay or lesbian, di ba? So that's always good news.
Yeah,
Sige, so,
ano siya, biggest in Asia, 'di ba, yung Pride
Yeah.
March nila. And
pagpaplanuhan
October yung kanilang Pride March.
Pagpaplanuhan natin next year kasi I think next year by June Pride Month again. I hope we have more reasons to celebrate by June 2022. So alam niyo na po.
Yeah.
Di ba? So I'm really optimistic that brighter days are ahead, and by June Pride 2022, sana po meron tayong reason para mag-celebrate for the rest of the year, di ba? So yeah,
Yes.
thank you very much for the coming years. Thank you, Taiwan. Let's move to the next news. Yan, bilisan na natin dahil mas exciting. Na-excite ako sa ating mga guests actually. Yan. So,
Ako rin, oo. Very, inspiring.
next news, please. Archbishop of Canterbury criticizes Ghana anti-LGBT bill. So this is very interesting, no? That a member of the church is talking about a country's move to have an anti-LGBT law. No? So what do you think about this? Like sabi nila, mixture of religion, and then kadalasan kasi when you talk about religion, against LGBT yan, di ba? So, but Archbishop of Canterbury, I think it's not it's a Church of England. I don't think it's tama ba? Or correct me if I'm wrong. No, it's
that's a Roman Catholic.
hindi siya Roman din. But what do you think, Win and Angel?
Nakakawalang gana ang Ghana.
Ghana.
Ghana, di ba? Napaka-supportive pa naman natin dun sa queen nila, si Miss Ghana, dun sa Miss Grand. Di ba siya nanalo? Do you remember itong recent?
True, Ghana.
Si Miss Ghana na parang Ghana. I mean, talagang kinuha niya yung hearts ng Filipinos by memorizing these lines. Tapos biglang LGBT, ganyan. So ako, hindi ako happy. Parang ayoko tuloy pumunta sa Ghana. Between Taiwan and Ghana, magta-Taiwan na lang ako. Masarap pa ang food. Tapos LGBT friendly pa.
Yeah.
I'll spend instead of going to Ghana.
Correct. Okay.
Sa akin, kahit yun nga, nakakawalang gana ang Ghana. At least, somebody of that in a high position, diba, in the church, well, a church pa rin naman, is speaking against, a bill na is anti-LGBT. So that's also a good step for me towards inclusion. Dahil madami rin namang nagtatago, diba, sa religion. Kaya nga hindi mapasa-pasa yung SOGI bill dahil ginagamit ang relihiyon as pangharang. So I think kahit hindi man siya Roman Catholic, he's a leader of his organization, of the Church of Canterbury. At least good na nagsasalita at nag-influence din sa mga tao.
Correct. Okay. So with that, sa mga kumakain po ngayon, baka sa mga nawalan kayo ng gana, pero tandaan po natin na we need more people to, raise yung issues ng mga ganito, ng mga anti-LGBT laws or legislation. Next news, please. We're almost done with the rainbow news. Ito, my goodness, the Taliban has a kill list for Afghan LGBT community, NGO says. So this is really sad. If the news is true, no, na meron talaga listahan, sama naman ng kalooban dahil alam naman natin ang rehimen ng Taliban. We know them based on their track record. Yun na lang. So what they did in the 90s, and especially to women, where women were not allowed to be educated. Talagang very, very strict sila sa ganyan. The way they interpret Islamic laws or teachings. So medyo alam naman natin na ito yata yung mga times na hinahang pa nila yung mga LGBT community members. No? So this is really, really sad. And I hope the international community will help those trapped, or at least those who wish to get out of the country and find a more secure and inclusive community to live in. Diba? What do you think, guys?
Yeah, si Jal muna.
Yes, I think may news before, 'di ba, na parang isang vlogger na taga sa kanila na parang takot siya, nag-fear for life because nga of this mga Taliban. And I think naman paurong sila ng paurong. Una yung mga babae, tapos ngayon naman the LGBTQIA plus community. So I think dapat gawan din ng steps to ng UN kasi parang wala na rin silang leader, 'di ba? Tumakbo yung presidente nila. So I fear for the lives of our brothers and sisters. And sana talaga ma-resolve na rin at mawala na rin tong mga Taliban na to. Hindi ko lang alam kasi wala sila talagang clear na leader eh. So I think yung last ko na balita is parang they're asking for syempre help from the big ones like the US. But yeah, Win, what do you think?
Ako, of course, is very bad news. Ang tao naman, ang buhay ng tao, hindi yan parang ipis na pinapatay lang na gano'n. So parang, oo.
Correct.
EJK yan, extrajudicial, part yan ng extrajudicial killing.
True.
Yan parang genocide. Ano yan? Parang World War II. So dapat mag-intervene ang international community dyan.
True.
Dapat maging active ang mga tao. Any form of killing na even death penalty, parang it violates so many things.
Yes.
What are we teaching our children na parang porket hindi tayo magkakapareho, dapat patayin natin yung hindi natin katulad. So, ang question ko lang, paano nila malalaman na bading o tomboy ang isang tao sa lugar nila kung wala silang establishments for those people in the first place? So, parang pwedeng gawin na chismis, di ba? Na parang
Yes.
na yan, parang bakla yan. Kaya, papatayin siya. So,
parang EJK nga, di ba? Drug
yeah,
exactly. Pusher yan, di ba?
Yeah, correct.
Naalala niyo, yung panahon ng hapon, nakapili, nakaganon. Ituturo
Tignan
lang.
mo, sabi mo, bata ka pa, pero natatandaan mo pa yung makapili.
Panahon na kasi yun.
Nabasa ko sa history book
Hindi namin
yun.
alam yun.
I read that.
Pero alam mo,
Ay, mag-move na tayo, bilis. Next na.
move na tayo, pero
Move
maganda
na.
rin na may news about this. So at least may spotlight. Okay.
Last news. After election, more than 1,000 LGBTQ
Yes.
officials will serve in the USA. Sana all. So, because I think unprecedented, no, maraming mga officials na candidates na tumakbo sa last election at mga susunod mag-election pa ulit eh. So, it's good. It's a good sign. Sana all lang. Yun yung aking response. Short and sweet. Gel win.
Representation for the win. Yes.
Yep, I agree. Great news.
Diba? Sana all.
Sana
With
dito
that,
din. Sana dito
correct. Okay, Gel win. With that, we wrap up on our rainbow news. So I think Next Saturday, again, we'll be giving you some updates on what's going on in the community. And please, always stay tuned. If may mga suggestions din kayo, mag-type lang po kayo sa comment section. Nandiyan sa our live on FB, on Instagram, on the website as well. And please share us your thoughts. And kung may gusto kayo i-feature ng mga balita na hindi namin nakukuha sa radar namin, please share them. So, Angel?
Well, speaking of, I guess kanina parang pinag-usapan natin, we want more news about this. So ngayon, gusto pa rin natin ng more. Ano kaya itong more na to? So more, people of diverse GSC athletes. So sana, dahil I think in the last Olympics, from what I know, ito yung highest turnaround, or highest participation, and I think winnings then of the LGBTQIA plus community.
Yep.
So, more! So, ang gagawin natin ngayon is that, kanina nga minention natin that yan ang topic natin for tonight. Magiging sporty tayo. Sporty spice.
Yo, tell me what you want, what you really want. Baka ka talaga, ipasok lang natin sa sporty spice. Alam niyo na, girl. Alam niyo na aking ultimate fan girl. So, anyway, guys, gusto ko yan may habol. Pag-usapan natin now, okay? Pag-usapan na natin na sinabi ni Angel. So, again, those who just tuned in, you are watching another episode of Pride and Proud Asia, a first-of-its-kind program that puts a spotlight on LGBT plus leadership and inspiring stories in business and beyond. I'm your host, your Chief Rampa Officer, Ronn Astillas, and of course, with our Aktibista in Heels Angel and the Skin Sensei himself, Winlove Mojica. So, guys, do you play any sports? May tanong ba si Angel? Ako na magtatanong. Do you play any sports? Sige. Or are you a fan of any sports?
Sige, short kwento, mabilis lang. So, when I was a kid, so I really wanted to be the first female basketball player. Ewan ko bakit.
Wow.
So, I wanted. So, I actually did apply for varsity, and I also did soccer. I also did karate. Pero sabi ng tatay ko, pang lalaki daw yan. So, I ended up being the team captain of our chess varsity girls team. And I won the WNCAA when I was young. So, naging chess na lang ang sports ko dahil sabi ng tatay ko, bawal daw sa babae ang mag-basketball or mag-soccer or mag-karate. So, doon ako na-sad. But at least ngayon, medyo na siya. Open na siya to, women excelling in sports na dominated by men.
Of course.
Jel.
Of course, women.
Queen's Gambit ka pala.
Oo, yan. So, mas chess talaga ako ngayon. So, yeah, pangarap ko natin maging first grandmaster na Pinay, pero matanda na ako. So,
I love it.
Hindi na natupad.
Ikaw, Win, anong gusto mo maging sports mo dati? O baka ngayon gusto mo pa i-pursue, why not?
Yeah, ako, despite my size, I'm a really sporty person. Bata pa lang ako, mahilig na ako mag-swimming. In fact, part ako ng swim team nung high school.
Wow!
Tapos, pero similar dun sa experience ni Jel, pinag-taekwondo ako ng papa ko ng mga...
Oh my God, contact sport.
Oo. Para
contact
siguro
sport talaga. Gusto ko
masculine ako. Tapos nung graduation, parang may sparring. Nasaktan ako. Ayoko na talaga. Nabugbog ako sa classmate ko. So, ayoko nang bumalik. Tapos, the following year, doon ako nag-train talaga for swimming. Tapos, yun talaga na-enjoy ko. Unfortunately, kung gaano karami yung kinakain ko nung high school, ganun pa rin yung kinakain ko ngayon without the swimming. So, ayan, ang laki-laki ko na. Pero swimmer ako talaga nung high school.
Correct. Ako naman, mabilis lang din. Para lang tayo. Piko, badminton sa kalsada, yung plastic pa na badminton.
Palarong Pinoy yan
Oo. So, pero yung grade school, gusto ko mag-swimming. Yung lumaki na ako, nag-swimming ako talaga. Pero yung high school, I remember, hindi ko gusto yung mga outdoor sports. Meron kaming pag
Ayaw
second
mo
year
nga
kasi
mga team, sabi mo, di
oo,
ba?
pag second year yata kami, soccer yung yung PE namin. Diyos ko, nagtatakbo kami sa field. Meron akong tuwalya sa aking ulo. Hindi ko
Sa
kaya.
boob.
So there. So anyway, when nasabihin ka about sports, about athletes,
Anong sasabihin ko? Wala. Hindi, char. So, if we're going to discuss LGBT athletes, huwag na tayong lumayo pa, no? So, aside from sa ating tatlo, meron tayong own experiences of being
40.
athletes when we were children. Tignan natin ang out and proud homegrown athletes from the Philippines. So, recently, ito yung mga sikat na out and proud athletes, no? Si Nesty.
Nesty.
Yeah, silver medalist na winner women's boxing featherweight division in Tokyo Olympics. So proud na proud siya, no? And then athlete number two, si Marjeline Didal, gold medalist at 2018 Asian Games and won the hearts of many at Tokyo Olympics kasi wala lang, parang nag-chill lang siya, no? Tapos nakibarkada siya dun sa Olympiad. And of course, ito, breaking barriers. Si Hidilyn Diaz. Hindi man siya LGBT, pero dahil kasi siya ang kauna-unahan natin na gold medalist. At ang kauna-unahang gold medalist ay isang babae. And of course, si Carlos Yulo. Uy, ako hindi ko sure na si Carlos pala ay part ng LGBT. Ngayon ko lang ito nalaman.
Sa female sport lang. Nag-excel siya na sport na mostly dominated by
hindi si Hidilyn, pero si Carlos.
Si Carlos din. Hindi, yung gymnastics, di ba?
Okay.
For girls.
Okay, yeah. Yung artistic gymnastics. Sorry. So, yun.
Oo.
Tama. So it's really the choice of sports ni Carla. So but again, we need to make sports more inclusive for LGBTQIA, diba? So bakit? Napakasimple lang. Dahil gusto natin marami pang Nesty, marami pang Marjeline, marami pang mga allies tulad nila Hidilyn, di ba? Gusto natin ng marami pang mga atletiko na patuloy na ipaglalaban ang karapatan ng bawat isa, equality for all. Kumbaga. So napakasimple, hindi na kailangang dibdibin pa ng pagkalalim-lalim yan, di ba? So again,
diba? Tell me why.
Ay, pasensya na guys, hindi ako nakapaghilamos.
Ikaw ba yan, Ron?
Oo, pasensya po. So,
pero alam mo, I think, ang swerte lang ng mga bata ngayon, this generation, alam mo yung mga makabagong mga atleta. Kasi nga, as mentioned, ako gustong-gusto kong maglaro ng basketball, soccer, pinatigil ako karate. Because nga, sinasabi, pang lalaki daw yan. At nakakakita tayo ngayon ng mga alam mo yun, bumabasag sa mga stereotypes. So, sobrang swerte. And yung mga out na athletes ngayon, nakaka-inspire.
So, huwag natin pahabain na to. Ipasok na natin ang ating exciting guests for tonight. And Angel, ibabalik ko sa iyo ang baton. We are proud to introduce our guest athletes for this episode of Pride and Proud Asia. Give me more. Go, Angel.
Sige, so we have for now live kasama natin dalawang powerful women, so babae power. So the first one is si Alex Castro. She's the captain of the Philippine Women's Ultimate Team. So explain niyo later yan. At bukod doon, madami pa siyang mga advocacies. She's also legal officer and spokesperson of Binibinis Ultimate. So founder din siya and president of Youth Against Sexual Harassment. At lawyer din siya, no? Specializing on women and children's cases and other gender-based issues. Nag-trend dati si Alex, alam ko sa Facebook, because of a post regarding someone who helped, parang someone na close to her sa UP.
Si Tatay Dong. Ipakwento natin si Tatay Dong kay Alex, di ba? So, okay, go ahead, Jel.
The second one is also as powerful as Alex, no? Si Jing. she's one of the rowers sa Dragon Boat, paddler from the Dragon Boat Federation. And she's been playing the sport for 11 years now. At di siya natatakot sa sa araw, Ron, dahil 4:30 pa lang nasa Manila Bay na 'yan. At ngayong pandemic, I think she tried cycling naman as a sport. Yan. So
let's bring them in.
All right.
Hello, Alex. Hello, Jing. Happy Pride. We
Happy
greet each
Pride.
other. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Yeah.
Hello.
Maraming salamat for spending your Saturday night with the Pride and Proud Asia team. So nakakatuwa na makausap kayo ngayon dahil ang daming mga storya na gusto naming itanong sa inyo at malaman sa inyong journey bilang atletiko, bilang member of the community and more so your mga pinagpapahalaga nyo sa buhay nyo, kumbaga. So, Winlove, ikaw ang unang magbibigay ng entrada ng natanong sa kanila. Paano umpisa na natin ang chikahan session? Go, Win.
Question.
Ako, I have a personal question. When did you realize na you wanted the sport that you were in? Bata pa ba kayo or parang as you went along?
I think I had a really long journey before I discovered Ultimate. Well, kasi kaka-start lang din recently. I think nag-start lang siya in the Philippines around 2001, 2004. So when I was in college, it was a pretty new sport here. Actually, it took us a long time to have a women's division, but it's another story. So, matagal siya talaga. I was a basketball player before. Kaya medyo relate ako na sinasabi ni Angel kanina. I started playing basketball grade school until high school, and then first year college. And then I stopped kasi sabi ko, sige, ACADS muna. But when I quit basketball, I found myself in the UP powerlifting team. The judo team, and then siya ako lang na-discover yung Ultimate after. But it was just supposed to be a PE, ganyan. And then I fell in love with it eventually. So, it took a long time. I would say siguro mga, 2000, I only started in 2009, so very recent.
Well, Jing, ikaw, kamusta? Kamusta ang iyong enlightenment towards your current sport? O baka life life passion na yan?
Yeah, ako nag-start ako mag-Dragon Boat around 2011. So, before ako mag-Dragon Boat, volleyball player ako sa school sa La Consolacion College, an all-girls school din. So,
wow!
After volleyball, siguro mga third or fourth year college, I decided to quit volleyball kasi para makapag-focus sa studies na, ganyan. And then, I met someone, tapos, ayun, in-introduce niya sa akin yung Dragon Boat. Of course, before ako mag-join, sabi ko, ano ba mo comment, blah, 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 whatever. So yun, from there on, nag-start na ako mag-training, and then nag-complete na kami local at international. So there, hanggang ngayon, before pandemic, may mga trainings kami, ganyan. So, mga 2020 na stop na. Pero ngayon, nag-resume na ulit yung training namin sa Dragon Boat. So, yun.
Malapit ba sa Dolomite Beach yung
Well, nadadaanan siya actually.
Di ba nagtitraining kayo sa likod ng Hotel H2O? Tama ba? Minsan doon ang shooting place. Alam ko, kasi madaming hot na Dragon Boat paddler.
Nako, okay. Mukhang familiar si Dr. Win sa sports na yan.
Umagang training yan, mga alas 5, papunta na yung mga yan dyan.
Hindi ko yata kaya. Oo, maaga. Go.
Tapos, magro-row sila doon sa Manila Bay. Tapos meron silang pinupuntahan doon. Ano ba ang tawag nyo doon, Jing? Yung may plastic, pontoon. Tapos punta sila doon, picture.
Ano yun?
Bakit may sinustock ka?
Punto, nga. Alam mo ha. Meron ka ba gusto
Alam ko
i-shoutout, Win?
Hindi, wala. Hindi pwede.
Pero halo ba yun? Halo, male-female yung sa Dragon Boat?
Yes,
Yung-
yes. Very diverse ng mga members ng Dragon Boat team talaga.
Pero sa competition, of course, may women, may categorization, right?
Yes,
Competition
may
na.
women, may men's, tapos may mixed category.
Ay, oo. Pasensya na, medyo, I think parang sinabi rin ni Alex to kanina, ang hirap gumising ng maaga kasi, 4:30. Dito parang simbang gabi, araw-araw. Hindi ko And of course,
Talaga, no?
oo,
Discipline.
talaga,
Oo.
dedication and discipline, kumbaga. Yan. Ganun din ba, Alex? Ang routine nyo sa team nyo?
Ultimate, oo.
Oo, sa Ultimate Frisbee, kailangan ba maaga? Or hindi naman, mas reasonable? Talaga reasonable. Sorry, Jing. Nag-freeze si Alex. Ayan, sige. O, balikan muna natin si Jing. Tama ba?
Si Jing.
Oo, nag-freeze si Alex. Correct.
Ako may
Don't worry.
question ako kay Jing. Mabilis lang na question. Since nga sinabi mo na halo na male-female, may discrimination ba? Like, pag babaeng paddler ba?
Well, sa team naman namin, under Philippine Dragon Boat Federation, particularly sa amin, wala naman. Kasi very diverse talaga nung team namin. As in, open talaga siya to anyone, to all genders, to all ages. Actually, yung oldest paddler namin is parang nasa 60 plus, 63 yata.
Wow.
Yes, tapos yung youngest namin is 16, ganyan.
Jing, anong team mo?
Okay lang ba sabihin? Triton.
Oo, okay lang. Ha?
Triton Dragon Boat.
Okay. Sige.
Talaga familiar na familiar.
Oo,
Naku.
kasi maraming mga, di ba yung parang Philippine Dragon Boat Federation, isang malaking group sila, tapos may compose yun ng iba't ibang teams.
Parang
Tapos,
liga.
Yeah, tapos alam ko yung issue na yan kasi sila yung official na Dragon Boat team pero parang hindi sila yung legally recognized ng Philippines, di ba? Issue yan dyan. Uy, balikan natin. Thank you, Jing. Balikan natin si Alex. May question tayo sa kanya bago siya nahulog.
Oo. Alex, kamusta ang routine ng team mo? Everyday bang practice nyo? Maaga ba? Madaling araw? Ready na dapat?
It depends. On weekdays, kasi I think friendly naman yung schedule to yuppies, ganyan, mga working players. So we usually had trainings mga 8 to 10 p.m. sa Circuit Makati or sa MP Stadium sa may McKinley. Pag weekends, we have boot camps. Yun yung when tournaments, yun yung medyo maaga because usually it's held in either Alabang Country Club or minsan sa Clark Parade Grounds in Pampanga. So, ayun, iba-iba yung venue. And then we have a lot of out-of-town tournaments also. Usually Dumaguete, Bohol, Malaybalay, mga ganon. So, for training, hindi kami ganon. So, hindi kami sanay yung mga 4:30 a.m. kailangan sa Manila. At gabi, usually after work. Nakakapagod, sure. Kasi, ayun, yung minsan OT ka pa, tapos diretso ka sa training. Pero kaya, iba yung body clock namin sa mga nagda-Dragon Boat.
No, pero tanong ni Angel din kay Jing kanina, meron bang discrimination among the members of, kasi you're all part of a parang federation, di ba? There's this flying disc federation, di ba? Merong Asia Oceania, meron ding world, di ba? Na nagko-compete kayo. So, nafe-feel niyo ba na may discrimination basically for women or for other diverse gender orientation, identity and orientation?
Well, sir, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, sa girls team naman namin, wala naman kaming na-feel na ganun. More on sa men's team namin. Kasi parang it happens during international races na underestimate sila, na ganyan, na parang lalaki ng katawan, pero ang lambot, ganyan.
Ganon? Grabe sila, baka-charge.
So, syempre, yung
Pero within the
namin
team, Jing, pero within the team, parang hindi siya issue. Pero pag competition with other groups, international groups, meron perception na gano'n na mahina to kasi
Yeah.
parang meron silang
Alam mo,
okay.
ganyan.
Tapos kung humatak pala no, kakaiba.
Correct. Alex, sa inyo, sa grupo nyo, when you do competition, meron ba kayong nararamdaman na ganyang klaseng pag mamaliit o pag ibang tingin dahil mga may babae or kung anumang gender identity?
Yes, I would have to say, unfortunately. Actually, it took us a long time. I'm currently working with yung Binibinis Ultimate. It's the women's organization in Ultimate Frisbee. So we handle yung mga development programs for female athletes. We also handle the national teams. So ngayon, meron kami, very timely actually, ngayon, kasi yung campaign namin yung tayo para sa babae. So, yan siya yung merch namin. So,
wow.
It's an anti-sexual violence and anti-gender-based discrimination campaign. Because I mentioned earlier, yung Ultimate only started in the Philippines 2001, 2004, mga ganon. At first, pareho kami sa Dragon Boat. We have mixed division, may women's and then men's division. But it took such a long time to be able to establish yung women's division. So, kung meron kang malalaroan before as a female player, ay sa mixed division. And then may ratio kasi in Ultimate Frisbee. I'm not sure if same with Jing, no? Curious ako doon actually. Kasi sa amin, may ratio kami. So, usually 7 players aside. Tapos dun sa 7 players na yon, dati 5-2. So, 5 boys, 2 girls on the field at a time. Or eventually, nag-progress siya, quote-unquote, to 4-3. So, 4 boys, 3 girls. Pero before itong 5-2 ratio na to, very male-centric siya talaga. Because sobrang secondary roles ng mga girls before. As in yung dalawang babae na yung nakapasok. Yan yung mga, sige, tayo muna kayo sa gilid, ganyan, hanggang matawid namin yung disc, ganyan. Tapos pag medyo nakalibre kayo ng onte, ganyan. Kasi mabagal din naman supposedly yung drive. Bantayin nyo, di sige, papasahan namin kayo. Yung ganun lang, usually yung roles before. So it was very, talaga, male-centric and mararamdaman mo na, parang cute-cute lang talaga yung role ng...
Cute lang.
Yes, female players.
May rational.
I'm sorry?
May reason ba behind the ratio? Bakit mas madaming lalaki?
Actually, siya talaga eh. It's, yung ratio kasi in Ultimate, it's not a set thing. If you look at the rules, there isn't anything that says na kailangan 5-2. It's actually the call of the team. So, kaya may hand signals kami, yung mga, basta nakita kayo ng laro, may mga hand signals yan for what ratio you're gonna use. Kasi it's actually the discretion of the 2 teams playing. I'm not sure if you're aware, pero walang referee kasi ang Ultimate. So, talagang everything by agreement of the 2 teams. So, kayo rin nagde-decide na, okay, sige, gusto namin 4-3.
Interesting yun, no?
Galing
Oo. Pero natanong ko sana si Alex pagbalik niya, pwede bang 7-0, 7 girls, 0 boys? Pwede bang ganun na
parang
na
puro
ratio?
girls na, pwede ba yun?
Oo, pwede bang all girls?
Pwede yon, but kasi, yung for example, if we're on offense, we get to call the ratio. So we get to pick kung ano man. Minsan,
okay.
So pagka kunyari, sabihin namin, 7 girls papasok namin. Most likely mag-oppose yung other team because it's difficult to find teams to play against na develop na rin yung female players nila.
Sabagay.
Yes, so bihira yon. Kaya minsan pumapayag na lang kami na sige, magsi-7 female kami kahit 7 boys kayo, okay na. Yung para lang, makalaro lang din. So it took a long time for us to be able to find our own space within the community. Right. So thankfully, yung 2015 when the Binibini started, and also yung first na international exposure namin, doon na rin nabubuo yung women's division. Doon namin na-realize na, kasi we went up against Australia, Japan, yung mga malalakas sa team, Russia, US, talagang develop talaga ang kanilang women's division. So when we played against them, yung women's national team, ang layo. Ano talaga, doon namin na-realize na, oh my God, we're so behind. And we realized it's because of that. That for the longest time, we've been playing secondary roles. We don't know how to play nan tayo. Tayo yung primarily nagtatawid ng disc, tayo yung primarily naghahawak, naglalaro. So from then on, that's when we started itong campaigns namin na for women empowerment before, and now we moved to itong anti-sexual violence and anti-gender-based discrimination. So yes, I would say malakas. There are different forms of discrimination within the community. It started from that. Ngayon, merong ibang issues that we're trying to address. Hindi nga yung sexual violence. Marami yan, homophobia, transphobia.
Yes.
It's really I would say malakas talaga. Malakas pa rin, unfortunately, ang discrimination within the community.
Ang policy ng chamber dyan sa harassment and mga discrimination, zero tolerance. We do not condone or tolerate those actions. So yung mga nakikinig po sa atin ngayon, tandaan ho natin, zero tolerance dapat tayo sa ganyang klase mga discriminatory at mga harassment na nangyayari out there, di ba? Tatanong ko lang, Jel, si Jing, kasi curious nga rin ako dun sa quota. Meron rin bang ganong setup sa Dragon Boat na, yung ratio na yan, naku, dapat all boys, 50% boys, ganyan, or more?
Well, sa mixed category, for the full boat kasi, it's 10 pairs. So, required 6 pairs of men, and then 2 pairs of women. So, yun ang ratio for mixed category. But for opens category or men's category, allowed na magsakay ng babae. If, example, kulang ng isa or dalawa, ina-allow na sa race na magsakay ng isang pair.
But have you all na-experience nyo ba yung sinasabi rin ni Alex na, you realize na baka hindi nabibigyan opportunity yung mga girls, yung women players nyo, ng roles na palaging secondary lang lagi. Panakip butas, tama ba?
So far, hindi naman. Kaya ang homey ng feeling sa Dragon Boat kasi very open ng mga tao. Well, hindi naman maiwasan yung iba, pero gets most of the people or members ng Dragon Boat is open-minded naman sa
Ay, gusto ko yan, open-minded.
Open-minded. Sali ka na ng Dragon Boat. Wait, sali ka na. Meron akong quick
hindi
lang.
Ko kaya yun. Ang hindi kaya sa Dragon Boat. Go ahead, Jen.
Hindi. So, quick lang na like yung sa sinabi kanina ni Alex, no? Ako kasi pre-pandemic, I also go to, after work, I go to circuit for soccer, for football. Mixed din. And alam nyo ba, syempre mix, so pagkasali ka sa team, puro boys, as in sa likod lang ikaw pinapapunta or hindi ka pinapasahan ng bola, so talagang nafe-feel mo na discriminated ka dahil babae ka. So, hindi na ako bumalik. Siguro nakatatlong laro ako, tapos puro lalaki kakampi mo, isa or dalawa lang kaming babae. Nilalagay lang kami sa likod or ayaw kami pag-goalihin or hindi ka papasahan ng bola. So, yeah, sobrang may discrimination pa rin talaga.
Yeah.
Go, Alex.
Talaga. It's actually for the longest time ganun yung pakiramdam. But I'm very happy kasi yun nga, after we started yung mga women empowerment campaigns, kasi we went around the Philippines to do yung mga boot camps for girls. And before the pandemic, we used to have open trainings. So anyone can join the national team while training, no, for yung mga competitions namin, para at least we can help develop yung skills ng girls. And I'm very happy to say na after we did that, we had a recent tournament, 2019 in China, Hainan actually. And I was happy because it was a mixed team. But they chose a female captain, that was me, for the team. So I was very happy kasi doon sa buong tournament, parang ako lang yata yung babaeng captain. And bihira yun eh. I've never seen a female captain ng mixed team. And also, the entire team agreed on playing 4-3. pero 4 girls, 3 boys, the entire tournament.
Wow.
Yeah, so nagugulat yung mga teams na kalaban namin kasi yun nga, parang even if they didn't wanna play 4-3, we insisted, tapos sige, isa na lang sa amin magbabantay sa lalaki. So, yun ganon, na ang layo na ng narating. So, it still exists, but I'm seeing tangible results, which I'm very happy about.
That's really good news. Win, ikaw, meron kang gusto itanong?
Wala naman. Yung comment lang ni Jel, sumali ako ng dragon boat. Hindi ko kaya. Kasi, siguro magda-dragon boat ako kung sa isang beach. Pero kung sa Manila Bay, ayaw. Hindi ko kaya.
Magkakayak. Kayak lang naman daw. Ako pwede lang ako magkayak. Sige, go.
Na nakapayong.
But Alex, that's good news talaga. Na at least consciously ginagawa niya yung representation na yan. And I think it's hard kung hindi siya intentional di ba? Ako, Jing, it's nice to also hear na parang family ang impression ko sa Dragon Boat team. Pero talaga ba na walang sense na wala na feel na discrimination? Talaga ba na even kumbaga yung tingin niyo talaga equal opportunity ang binibigay sa inyong lahat na players sa Dragon Boat?
Yes. So far naman wala akong na-experience na discrimination sa Dragon Boat.
Tayo lang to ha, walang problema. Walang nakikinig sa atin, tayo lang.
Yun. Wala naman so far.
Mukhang happy nga sila
Yes, happy naman. That's why parang 11 years, parang syempre if you love the sport, di ba? I mean, homey ang feeling ng ganon. Parang second home mo na kasi yun kasi you spend most of your time with the team, di ba? Training with them. So yun, very open talaga sa Dragon Boat, very diverse.
How do we make the teams or the culture or the sports more gender inclusive? If you can give us 1 or 2 action points, kumbaga na pag ginawa natin to, definitely mas ma-expose sa gender diversity yung sports. What do you suggest?
Siguro number 1, siguro we need to educate the people, parang ipaintindi natin sa kanila na LGBTQIA+ exist, na hindi lang babae at lalaki ang meron dito. And then number 2, siguro for the athletes or kahit sino na parang wag silang matakot or wag mahihiya maging out kasi sooner or later matatanggap naman sila or maiintindihan naman ng mga tao yan 'di ba? So
Tama.
For me kasi before kasi hindi talaga ako out. I mean, yung college, before mag-Dragon Boat sa volleyball. And then later on, one day I decided na, lesbiana ako, may girlfriend ako, blah, 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 whatsoever. Wala naman sila nagawa. Natanggap naman nila. Kasi if you love the person, if you really love the person as or your friend, your relative, diba, ma-accept mo naman sila. Whoever they are, or kung ano man yung gender nila. So, yun for me.
Alex, how about you?
Ako medyo baka mas radical, no? I have a lot of ideas about this kasi that's what we're trying to tackle now. Pero una, I agree with Jing. Yung education talaga, that's the first step to anything really, to any campaign, any revolution at that. We really need to educate people. We need to make it a norm. Yung second, I think, ito naman from a legal perspective, we're also trying to do this now. Kailangan may set rules talaga. May set na penalties, punishment for yung mga homophobic, transphobic, sexist na acts and remarks, and sexual violence, of course. Dapat merong consequences I think that's the only time that people will take it seriously. Doon nila ma-realize na mali talaga to discriminate against anyone on the basis of gender. Yung pangatlo, ito ba sobrang radical. Medyo malayo pa tayo doon. But I realized kasi recently we were talking about kasi Olympics, 'di ba? We are talking about yung trans athletes, trans women, trans men joining the opposite category. And then ito, yung mga mixed division, then supposedly yung takes away yung discrimination factor, but really it doesn't. So naisip ko kasi parang I guess I realized na baka yung divisions or classifications based on gender might be outdated already. We might have to consider alternative ways to classify players, no? Even sports scientists say na there's really no basis to classify based on gender. It really depends on muscle mass, yung build no, skeleton, ganyan and everything, yung development of the muscles also dun sa critical period, yung critical years na sinasabi nila, yung mga ganitong klase. Kasi wala na talaga, I mean, testosterone level probably also. I think that's what the Olympics is trying to move to now, no? But yun yung mga naisip ko na might siguro terminate or talagang eradicate itong discrimination within communities. But yes, if you want a simple answer, that's really where you need to start, yung education aspect of it.
Time to reform sports rules, di ba? Time to reform.
True, agree.
Oh, Win, go ahead, Win.
I'd like to add on what Alex said, no? Very good that she brought up the issue on trans athletes. Kasi di ba kapag trans athlete ka, laging ang contention, saan ka pa talaga? Pang female ka ba or for male competition? In the United States, meron na silang protocol for youth athletes, young trans athletes. So trans athletes can go to their gender kung saan sila nag-identify, provided na nagtitake na sila ng hormones for at least 1 year. So yun yung protocol sa kanila. So ang reason kasi is, should we stop our kids from playing sports just because they are trans? So parang dapat lahat ng mga tao nakaka-enjoy ng sports, regardless if they are male, female, or if they identify as trans. So that's very progressive thinking, no, na hindi lang based sa male genitalia or sex genitalia, but the body mass, the testosterone level could actually differentiate kung saang category ka pwedeng maglaro. So I think that's very progressive, and hopefully in the next 5 years we'll see improvements in the protocol regarding yung mga athletes natin where they should play. Ganda.
Alex, you're supposed to say something.
I just have a comment on that. It's I think that's what the Olympics is currently doing. Meron na silang ganon, yung you have to be undergoing hormone replacement therapy for at least a year, and then dapat parang consistently na also you have to keep your testosterone level below a certain number
threshold,
or a threshold.
Correct.
Hindi naisip ko na it's actually progressive, but I remember talking to a few mga trans athletes also, kasi I was curious if this was okay with them or if it's actually easy to do. And then yun nga, I think merong mga nagsabi na sure yung hormone replacement therapy, but the testosterone thing is actually difficult to maintain, no, na consistently below a threshold. Tapos I agree na it's difficult to make it's wrong to make trans athletes choose na to live as who they want to be or who they think they are, who they feel they are, or piliin mo na lang na mag-sports ka tapos itakwil mo na lang yung sarili mo. Medyo mahirap na talaga. Kaya ang hirap if you wanna, sure, we can operate within yung framework na yon na sige, let's classify based on how female are you based on your testosterone level, or how male are you. But yun, I think it's really outdated. We should be considering other parang factors to classify sa divisions. If we can't eradicate that.
Agree. That's the new frontiers of sports. Remember Mona Sulaiman, Nancy Navalta?
Yeah.
Then they had promising career. Mona Sulaiman was inducted in the Philippine Sports Hall of Fame in the 1960s. Olympian siya, 1960 Rome, 1964 Tokyo. Alam ko yung aking I do that to mga survey session. Diba? So and then Nancy Navalta took the test in the 1990s, and then he was found out to have that condition of hermaphrodism, right? And wala, natigil yung kanila. She was supposed to go to Atlanta, Georgia for the Olympics. Hindi rin nag-push through. So, a lot of dreams were cut short.
Pero si Nancy is, chose na to be a man.
Nako-coach siya ngayon. She graduated criminology at University of Luzon in, Winlove, you were saying.
Correction lang, we don't call na these individuals
Kaya
as
nga.
hermaphrodites.
Correct.
Ano na, dapat alam mo.
Intersex.
Intersex.
Yes.
Yung I sa LGBTQIA.
Na-recall ko lang yung isang article na nabasa ko na ang tawag sa akin parang meron daw ganung condition si Nancy. So, of course, I discussed that in the context of intersex. So, we call them intersex. Na ang sex po ay hindi lang male, female. Meron pong intersex din, no? So, yeah.
Pero Ron, nag-choose na siya, 'di ba? From what I know, parang nag-choose na si Nancy to be male. So, living as male na siya. Oo.
Yung kanyang gender identity na niya. Okay. So, parang naging, ang hirap kasi nga but I agree with Alex. Alex, maraming, dapat i-push mo yan. Pwede ba i-appoint ka dapat ng gobyerno to lead that kind of working group? I-push mo yung working group na ganyan to really fix the system. My goodness. The binary-based system, di ba?
Good luck!
Honestly, I don't think the Philippines is ready for that.
Philippine sports quality. Yung Philippine sports ito, nuknukan ng nuknukan ng bagal dyan at bulok dyan. Natatawa si Jane dahil isang isang obstacle ng commission na yan para ma-recognize ang Philippine Dragon Boat Federation. Yun nga lang sila nga ang pinakamagaling na sa dragon boat sa rowing, sa dragon boat, hindi sila ma-recognize. What more yung mga progressive topics na yan. So, baka nga hindi in the next 5 years, but we need to start from somewhere.
We have to continue the conversation hanggang magsawa sila at mag-action sila. Di ba, Alex, Jing?
At gawin na nila.
So I guess it's a very, very interesting topic. Yung mga trans athletes now sa Olympics. Kung mamarapatin nyo, we'll pause for a break muna and then we'll be back and we'll also look at some of the questions, and we have a special guest after this, after the break. So please stay tuned. Pride and Proud Asia team will be right back at marami po tayong pagchichikahan in a few minutes. So maraming salamat and see you.
We'll be back shortly. This is Pride and Proud Asia, only here on V81 Radio, Manila. Get into the treasure trove of undiscovered music through Napalm, your new all-Pinoy alternative music. Whether it's rock, metal, reggae, soul, or pop, we have it covered. Napalm features upcoming Pinoy artists and musicians, hosted by Pards Moro and Lace Jimenez. So sit back and relax and enjoy Napalm, only here on V81 Radio, Manila. Connected ka na ba para laging updated sa mga bagong shows, promos, trending news, viral videos, events, o patok na OPM hits? Just follow us on Facebook at V81 Radio Manila. Simple lang, itype lang ang letter V81 Radio Manila. O, di ba madali lang? Kaya i-like at i-follow na. Now back to Pride and Proud Asia, only here on V81 Radio Manila.
Hi everyone! Thank you for watching another episode again of Pride and Proud Asia. And dire-diretso ang ating usapan. Kanina lamang, kasama pa rin naman natin ang ating mga guests na mga atletiko, mga ating mga sports inspiration Fitspiration as well, di ba? So, but ngayon, we have a very, very exciting guest. Kami mismo ay nabighani sa kanya. We're surprised. It's a surprise, I think. Although sabi na rin namin, no? But it's good to have a champion. Filipinos are also champions, and I think we are inspired to have a community member who will talk to us and share with us her experience, her journey in becoming the best version of herself in terms of her passion, in terms of the sport that she's connected to. So, Angel, without further ado, pakilala mo na ang ating next na guest, ang ating special guest tonight.
Yes, Ron, as mentioned by Ron, sobrang swerte natin at napagbigyan niya tayo. So very thankful and humbled by this opportunity to share a conversation with world pool champion, none other than Rubilin Ding Amin.
Hi everyone.
Happy
Hi.
Pride!
Happy
Bing,
Pride.
ang greetings namin sa Pride and Proud Asia is Happy Pride. Yeah.
Oh, happy Pride. Happy Pride, Sir Ron and Miss Angel. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be on your show.
No, it's our honor to have you. Just call us Ron and Angel. No, we're like barkada lang naman. And again, natutuwa at tumataba ang aming puso dahil you're spending time with us, you're spending time with our viewers, and alam namin na minsan, busy, ang mga champions always busy yan, but giving a portion of your schedule sa community is it really means a lot to us. So sinabi nga ni Angel, no, parang kumbaga yung introduction sa iyo hindi na kailangan pahabain pa. It says it all. Di ba? World champions billiard. The first ever Filipino woman, Filipina, as a world champion. Kamusta ang feeling mo now na naabot mo yung ganung status, naabot mo yung achievement na yon, at paano mo siya mayahambing in terms of yung journey mo all these years?
The funny thing is that when you journey as a beginner, tapos when you journey na yung objective mo, yung end goal mo is to be a world champion, you feel na pag nakamit mo yun, that's it. Okay na. Everything will be okay. But it was maraming pinagdaanan, alam naman natin yun, and wala talagang walang shortcut. It was really hard work, putting in the effort, the time. So when I won the world championships, syempre I was very happy. But it lasted just a few minutes. Alam mo yung parang ang saya mo, parang ito na yung pinakapangarap ko. Ito na yung gusto kong mangyari. To be like my idol, Tatay Efren.
Oh yes.
World champion. Diba? So when I got the world championship, yung day na yon, I couldn't believe it. But then, boom, reality. Kailangan mo ulit magtrabaho.
Oo nga. Training.
Hindi siya, it doesn't end there. Na pag world champion ka na, lahat ng kalaban mo matatakot na sa'yo at mananalo ka na lang na mananalo. Hindi. All the more na you have to put in the hard work. You have to put in the work. Kasi now, parang markado ka na. Na pagkalaban ka, they have to be more aggressive. They have to be more maingat. They can't be reckless. So all the more din na I had to put in the work. So it has a nice ring na you're a world champion, but really it just means more work.
More pressure. Do you feel
more pressure? Yes, definitely. When I won my first world championships, my first world championship tournament, sabi ko, parang eto na, I'm on top of the world.
Yeah.
Pero, a lot of doubts. Baka chamba, baka So I had to as it turned out, I had to prove myself. So the next year I came in third. And then I think four years after, I won my second world championship.
What?
And then when may doubts pa rin, parang naisip ko, hindi. Alam ko yung strength ko, which is yung trabaho. So, kung meron man doubt, meron man may masasabi, talagang may masasabi at masasabi kahit anong gawin ko. Kahit 5-time world champion pa siguro ako, may masasabi at masasabi, di ba?
Yeah.
So, yun. After that, I realized na I just have to enjoy what I do. And although, honestly, medyo din ako doon. Parang I'm trying to learn to enjoy na wala yung pressure. But yeah, I just put in the work. Just put in the work day in, day out.
I think that's a good statement. Kasi madalas magtatanong tinatanong natin yung mga achievers, yung mga nandiyan sa taas, ina-enjoy nyo pa ba ang ginagawa nyo? O talagang, di ba, parang dahil sa pressure, sa image, sa performance, dapat laging, oh my God, I'm really hard on myself. Hindi pwede ako matalo. Hindi pwede mag number 2, 3 ako. Para taon-taon, kailangan ma-prove ko yung sarili ko. Nasaan na yung enjoyment? Paano mo siya ina-address ngayon? Now that you realize na people will always have something negative to say. You cannot please everyone. Some groups, I guess, will always doubt you. So how are you now addressing these criticisms in relation to your enlightened view na kailangan ko rin enjoy, kailangan kong mag-enjoy sa ginagawa?
It has become my faith has really helped me, and I've come to surrender and just trust in whatever plan he has sa buhay ko. So from that, ina-enjoy ko ina-enjoy ko yung training, ina-enjoy ko yung company of my teammates, ina-enjoy ko yung learning every day. It's one thing kasi na nagustuhan ko talaga about billiards is that hindi nasasatisfy yung kagustuhan ko to learn. Yung learning, hindi siya natatapos, hindi nauubos. So I go to training and I learn something new. And then maganda pa doon, you don't only learn about billiards, but you learn something about yourself as well, especially when you go into competition. So that's what I love about it. It's a continuous, cliche, it's a continuous journey talaga.
Cool.
Yun talaga yun. Yeah.
Parang it never stops. Kumbaga, unless siguro mag-retire ka na. Some athletes ganon, di ba? But you're too young.
Too young.
You're too
We're
young.
We're young, the three of us. Magkaano tayo eh.
Ako, Bin. Ako'y pa-retire na. Gusto ko na lang sa dagat, umiinom ng buko juice.
Oo. Especially itong season na to,
Na-realize yan, diba?
Diba? Na-realize natin na parang, gusto ko rin yun. I want that life also.
But I'm sure marami ka pang i-inspire kasi. So that's why I think hindi pa tapos ang journey mo sa sports na pinili mo, di ba? Tanong ko, paano mo naisipang papasukin yung sports na yan? Sinabi mo, di ba, Jel? Paano ka na-inspire? Sino nag-inspire? Ano yung trigger point? Yung bata ka ba, binigyan ka ba ng laruan na okay ito?
Ang maalaala mo kaya
Oo
may...
nga, di ba? Naghanap kami ng title sa maalaala mo kaya story mo.
Ako.
Go big.
Ang hilig ko talaga, like most of the Filipinos, basketball.
Okay.
Kaso lang, yun nga, lagi ko nababanggit to. Hindi ako tumanggad eh. Pero on TV, akala ng mga tao matanggad ako, but when they meet me in person, minsan pag nasa, kanyari, especially if I came from a victory, tapos somebody would approach me na parang, ikaw yung nagbe-billiards, di ba? Ganun. Sabi ko, yes sir, ganun. Tapos a few steps lang, biglang, parang matangkad siya. Parang matangkad siya sa TV. Parang so sabihin minsan na parang, sir, naririnig ko ba kayo? Palayuin niyo pa akong konti. So yun, anyway, hindi ako tumangkad. So I shifted. Nung medyo tumangkad na lahat ng tao. So I shifted. And then my dad was really into billiards. So I picked up the sport through my dad. Actually, my father talaga was the one who pushed me literally sa paglalaro. Yun talagang gusto niya yata para sa akin. Kasi ang goal ko before was to be a CPA lawyer. That was my goal, be a CPA lawyer. So, but my father had different plans. So,
buti na na persuade ka sa ganyang direction. Kumbaga, your father must be really good in terms of defining the path for you.
Yes, him and my mom, actually, they're very supportive. Ang laking tulong kasi billiards, alam natin dahil magkaka-age group tayo.
Yeah.
So alam natin na before medyo hindi ganoon kaganda yung image ng billiards.
Yes.
It was, 'di ba? It was medyo about parang drinking, or parang
Nasa bilyaran ka na naman. Nandun ka na naman sa bilyaran,
parang
barkada.
bulakbol. But I was really into my studies. I just loved the competition. And it was family time. Kasi my parents would always accompany me sa tournaments before, sa Mega Mall, sa Green Hills, everywhere. We would be everywhere. It was always with my mom and my dad and my brother. Tapos my dad would be yung nanonood talaga sa akin. Tapos yung mom ko yung financier ko in terms of the fees. Yung mga registration fees, tapos pag natalo, yung pagkain, lahat. Tapos pag nanalo, may gift pa ako. So everything was that was with my mom's side. My dad was more of the pushing and medyo stage father yung tatay ko.
Kapatid?
Sorry?
Ilan kayo magkakapatid?
2, I'm the eldest.
So, yung brother mo then is into the sport?
When he was young, naglaro kami ng brother ko, nag-doubles kami before, kwento ko lang. Valentine's Day, and then pumunta kami sa isang bilyaran, kami lang ng brother ko. Malaki age gap namin, pero since close ako sa brother ko, he was 8 years old then, I was 16, 8 years apart kami. Puro couple yung naglaro kasi Valentine's Day. So, mga mag-boyfriends, mag-asawa. Tapos sabi ko, isali niyo na kami kasi 8 years old lang yung brother ko. Ganon. Tapos nanalo kami.
Wow!
Sabi yung nag-champion. Nakakatawa lang. Cute lang. Anyway, it's a cute story. Tapos, yun. My brother picked up the sport but dumaan na siya sa panahon ng online games. So, doon napunta yung interest niya. Dun sa mga, and he's really good at it. But now he's in the corporate world. So, my brother's a banker. So.
Yung mga online games na yan, kasi we also partnered with a team na who handles an online gaming team talaga, professional esports, di ba? Esports na. So, talagang mga kabataan ngayon, talagang very into that. But I think it goes down to your passion na kahit sino ka man, ikaw mamimili kung saan mo gustong mag-thrive, kung saan mo gustong mag-excel. Diba? Mapa-billiard, mapa-Efren Bata Reyes, inspired kid ka, or sa football, sa basketball, diba? But along the way ba, may mga times that you doubted yourself.
Of course.
Was there any major moment na talagang I give up, ayoko na talaga, that's it?
Definitely. There were several times. Una was, I could think of two instances. First would be yung pressure from my dad because he really wanted me to excel. Nung bata kasi ako, I didn't understand. For me, it was just a game. Na parang, bakit pa ganito? Bakit pa sobrang pressure mo sa akin? So when I was in college, I was taking up accountancy in UST. So I found an excuse. Sinabi ko, I'll focus sa studies ko, which is true naman. Because yun naman talaga yung gusto kong path. So, parang medyo nag-give up ako ng billiards. Walang billiards halos. Very seldom na lang ako maglaro nun because parang na-burn out ako dun sa pressure from my father. So, yun yung una na time na parang umayaw ako sa billiards. But then, after graduating, siguro yun talaga yung path ko. So, again, my father was a huge instrument for me to pick up the sport again after graduating. He offered me a car. Sinabi niya, huwag kang mag-board exam, bibigyan kitang kotse. So parang ha? Diba? Sinong magulang in their right mind? Diba? Would offer their child.
Galing daddy mo fairness.
Diba? Pero that time kasi yung business was doing well.
Kotse? Gusto
diba?
ko
Sino?
Kotse.
Diba? So, yun. But the business was doing well pa kasi during that time. Tapos, yung second instance wherein I doubted yung paglalaro ko and the path that I took was when the family went through rock bottom. Nung nag-fail yung dalawang business. Tapos, mas ako yung nung load, nung responsibility. Parang dun ako na parang, hindi ko ata kaya yung pressure of providing for the family. But then, yun, I actually I actually thought of going the corporate route kasi syempre mas stable, 'di ba? Kasi ako ang income ko is based on winning, which is hindi ko naman talaga kontrolado.
Correct.
So, but then again, I'm just really blessed because this is my passion, and at the same time my family is really backing me up. So nung time na yon, sinabi ko, "Do you want me to find a job?" And they said, "No, just continue playing and we'll figure this out." This was in 2009, February of 2009, when we had our family meeting on whether I'll go the corporate route. And they told me na no, continue playing billiards. And I won my first world championship in June of 2009. So
Congratulations.
Galing. Galing.
It was a huge turnaround sa family, especially sa finances. So, yeah.
But ano yan, talaga it takes a village to raise a kid, kumbaga. So talagang kompletong team mo. You have your family support. You also have your professional team supporting you. May ganun ba? Paano mo sila nandito? Yung talagang daddy mo lang all along ang pinaka parang professional team that was supporting you?
When I was younger, it was really my father, my mom. Sila yung yung manager ko, yung coach ko, 'di ba? Yung tagabuhat ng yung brother ko. So kami, family agad. But when I turned pro, when I turned professional, of course, mas marami ng andyan na yung teammates, andyan na yung national coach, marami, of course, the sponsors, the Philippine government, maraming factors to, para mapunta ako kung nasaan ako ngayon. And I'm very grateful for those people who have helped me to be where I am, both positive and negative. Kasi syempre, mahirap din kasi yung role ng people who would say things that aren't so nice.
Right.
During the time, hindi mo ma-realize, but eventually you'll come to realize na maganda rin pala yung role niya dun sa buhay ko na yun. And that role isn't always hindi yun madali. Hindi yun madali to take. So I also appreciate those people who have helped me through those experiences.
That's nice to hear, Bing, kasi you see everything, as part of a whole picture. Hindi yung selective lang na miski nahirapan ako sa iyo, kasama sa learning curve mo, kasama sa journey mo dapat 'yon, di ba? So, and I think ma-inspire yung mga viewers natin. Ako marami talagang gusto pumasok sa sports. I mean, lalo na billiards, di ba? So, yung mga kabataan na they're trying to find themselves. Ano ba yung passion nila? Saan sila magfo-focus? Now kasi very di ba? Very split. They tend to be to focus on a lot of things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ito gusto kong gawin.
Mabilis ko talaga.
Oo. So how can you concentrate on one, di ba? Kung masyadong ka-disperse, kumbaga. But I mean, we're not judging them. But what I'm saying is siguro nga, if your story can really inspire the new generation to look at what they're passionate about, diba? So
Ron, I think yung story niya is napakaganda kasi you see the support system is there. She broke talaga literally the glass ceiling. She is the first Filipina world champion and a woman, diba? So in a sport na binasag din niya yung stereotype na ang billiards is pang-inom pero masarap uminom, 'di ba? I mean, so much accomplishment for, such a short of a time. And I just wanted to ask siguro you kung in that journey, ano yung pinaka parang lesson na tutunan mo all throughout your journey in winning and starting as young as ilan taon ka nag-start mag-billiards?
I started when I was 12. I'm now 40. So it's been a while. 28 years na.
So anong pinaka parang lesson na natutunan mo in all those every step of your journey?
Actually marami. Ang daming you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional with what you do. And then, kasi of course we have idols. We have I have si Tatay Efren, si Coach Django as my idols. But you really have to know yourself. Hindi ka pwede yung parang sunod lang ng sunod because this worked for a certain person or a certain, kasi magkakaiba tayo ng background. So you have to know yourself, what works for you. But you try. Kaya Kaya pumapasok yung hard work. Because you try and then you see what works for you. And it's nice also to, of course, to see also kung ano yung mga hindi nag-work sa kanila para maiwasan mo na. Or pwede mong itry and then pag hindi talaga, kaya pala, the understanding of things. You don't go there na parang just for the sake of practice or ano, but know the concept of things. And one thing siguro na ma-apply ko aside from ako as an athlete, but ako as a total person, ako as being, is that lahat ng in-apply ko na principles for me to be a world champion, for me to reach my goals, and also ako ngayon as I build into accomplishing more, is that same lang siya sa in any endeavor. Be successful in business, it's the same. You have to be really intentional. You have to have a plan, you have to have a goal, you have to be responsible, you have to be accountable. You have to be accountable for anything, even for the smallest decision. Because it's so easy to point fingers na parang, kasi ganito, ganyan. But really, at the end of the day, it's your decision. Alam mo yun. But, so there are a lot talaga. That's why I love what I do. Is because ang dami ko talagang napupulot. And siguro another would be, hindi mo talaga kontrolado lahat. As much as you would want to stress out na gusto kong mag-world champion, hindi mo hawak. So siguro it would be best also to surrender and to trust. Like with me, my faith, nakakatulong talaga sa akin to help me with the stress. But ngayon, alam natin yung season talaga ngayon na we're in, medyo, it's a challenge.
Yeah.
But maganda din talaga yung meron tayong nakakapita. So there. Marami talaga. Kaya yung mga athletes na who aspire to be world champion or kung ano man ang gusto yung maabot, dahan-dahan lang, just enjoy, just alam mo yun, just enjoy, just really work hard, learn, add something. Ang term ko is that pag nagte-training ako, minsan 1 hour pa lang, sinasabi ko na sa teammates ko, bayad na yung araw ko kasi may natutunan na ako. Minsan 8 hours na wala pa. Alam mo yun, yung parang iba-ibang araw, iba-iba yung condition mo, iba-iba yung, may minsan nga isang araw wala. Frustrating, pero ganun talaga. So, yeah.
Correct. But again, it's nice to hear those lessons from you, Bing, and curious yung ating audience. Jel mentioned this kanina. You're the first Filipina to be a world champion. Anong tingin mo pagdating sa representation sa sports, no? Pagdating sa kumbaga yung gender representation. We have now more athletes sa Olympics, for example, na women, LGBT members, allies, etc. What are your thoughts on this? And is it necessary? Will it be the natural occurrence as we move forward, or it has to be intentional, as you said? Kailangan pagplanuhan, kailangan conscious tayo na hindi dapat open ang sports visibility ng gender diversity. Ganyan.
For me kasi kailangan magpakatotoo ka kung ano ka, when I was younger, parang there were times in my life na iniisip ko na parang iba ako. Parang ganun. Iba yung boses ko, iba yung kagustuhan ko magdamit. But hindi siya parang as I picked up the sport, as I would play my game, I would represent the country, I would represent our community. Hindi talaga ako hindi ako conscious na kailangan I should act or dress a certain way, ganyan. But it was raised a couple of times na siguro it would be better if you would parang dress this way or look this way for more sponsorships or for parang acceptable somehow. Pero I did try. Open naman ako. Hindi naman ako yung parang if someone would tell me, I don't judge naman the intention. Parang for me, okay, sige, maybe you want to help me out. Adi, sige, tara, let's go. Let's do this. So yun, I had some tournaments wherein I put on makeup. And then I would wear clothes na medyo masikip na. And I really felt na it wasn't me. Na parang iniisip ko na ano ba yung objective of doing this. If it's for sponsorship, I'd want to be with a sponsor who accepts me for who I am. So, yun yung naging ano ko na and tatalo ko. Talo ako ng masama. Hindi ako maka-perform dahil ang conscious ko dun sa suot ko. Kasi naisip ko, oo nga, naka-makeup nga ako, tsaka parang proper na suot. Pero wala rin akong sponsor kasi hindi ako mananalo. Diba? Diba? So, but yun, for me, bottom line is just, I wanted to be myself. Alam mo yun? But if others would want to dress a certain way when they're in competition, that's ako lang to. That's how I am. Mas gusto ko, mas komportable kasi ako. I play better kapag ito yung suot ko, ganyan. But if like other athletes would want to parang dress a certain way, then all good.
Correct. No, in fact, sa Olympics, di ba, yung mga gymnasts and all, they're trying to be more conscious of what they wear. Kasi nagiging, tama ba, Jelly? Parang feeling nila kasi yung mga skimpy clothes for women, para nagiging sexist na yung ano nila, yung attire. So sabi nila, hindi kailangan gano'n. If I want to wear na naka-leggings ako, covered ako, I should be allowed to perform in the Olympics, diba? So, but I agree. I mean, it's hard to play na you're not true to yourself. Diba? Parang, conscious and bothered ka na parang, teka lang, tama ba yung angulo ko? Baka yung mascara ko nag-melt na.
Yung lipstick ko, baka
kailangan mag-retouch. Wait lang.
Diba? So,
but that's it. So at least it's nice to know na you have that journey. Nadaanan mo yun. And gusto ko yung sinabi mo, Big, na kung magkakaroon ka ng sponsor or yung sponsor na naniniwala sa'yo, sponsor na paniniwalaan yung who you truly are, no? Hindi dahil meron silang gustong i-package para sa iyo na ikaw dapat tanggap ka, diba? So ang hirap lalo na ngayon sa cancel culture, alam natin 'yan. Diba? Sa social media na i-cancel mo 'yan, ako hindi na-fit sa sa branding, hindi na-fit sa image. Ano masasabi mo doon?
Well, for me, parang, honestly, kasi hindi ako masyadong nagpo-focus dun sa mga ganun, na, I don't know, agenda, or parang iniisip ko, what if there are some also na, parang humuhugot din ng lakas ng loob, na, may atleta nga, na she dresses, on how she feels, on, alam yun, the way na she wants to dress, tapos she's excelling, ganyan. So, somehow, I'll represent that group. Parang ganun. So, siguro others would represent another group, then I'll represent this group. Maybe I could inspire and motivate this group na okay lang yan. Kung diba? Parang, hindi rin ako, I went through struggles also, even now, na medyo, I'm trying to understand also. I'm trying to understand myself, kung paano, ganyan, but at least somehow, paano ba? Let's journey together. Parang gano'n.
Yes. So, sasamahan ka talaga. Hindi ka bibitawan. Kung bitawan ka, hindi para sa iyo 'yon. Hindi ka nila deserve. Tandaan mo, we deserve better, di ba?
I think, Ron, yung pinakamahalaga din sinabi kanina ni Bing is authenticity, no? Being authentic to your true self. I just want to get your thoughts on, speaking of authenticity, kasi sinabi kanina ni Ron, in the recent Olympics, record-breaking yung participation and contribution of the LGBTQIA community with the likes of Nesty, Petasio, and also Margie, no? Anong thoughts mo on that? Yung illusion na ng sports na hindi na siya ganun katulad nung panahon natin before or ng 'di ba ng una sa atin na very very not accepting.
Rigid, no?
Anong
I'm very happy for their success. Si Nesty, kaibigan ko si Nesty eh. So, lagi kaming naglolokohan on social media. I'm really proud of her. And I tell her nga, nung time na she won the silver na sabi ko, I'm really proud kasi parang sabi niya, silver lang. At sabi ko, oh, no, sabi ko, we just dream of being an Olympian.
Yes,
Oh, I dream
yes.
of being an Olympian, and you're there. You won you won the silver medal. You fought in the finals.
Yes.
So I'm very proud of Nesty and all the support that she's getting ngayon.
True.
Nakakatuwa kasi it represents yung acceptance somehow on a certain level. Alam mo yun, yung parang na marami ng sponsors, kasi before pag iniisip ko na siguro may part din na sumagi yun sa isip ko eh. Parang siguro kaya wala akong masyadong sponsors kasi I dress a certain way, ganun. And now, seeing her na parang very accomplished and getting a lot of attention, recognition, which she truly deserves. I'm really happy for Nesty. I know that she worked hard for it. Tsaka, alam naman natin, boxing buhay yan. And then, di ba? And then si Margie naman, si Marjorie. Kalugar ko yan, Cebuano, fellow Cebuano.
Oh, wow.
But I haven't really met her in person. But I admire the kid. I admire how paano ba, yung parang totoong-totoo lang siya sa sarili niya, kung ano yung nararamdaman niya, kung ano yung susuot niya, kung ano yung expression niya in di ba, in certain things, ganyan. And she's being recognized for it. Kaya parang nakakatuwa, nakaka-proud, kasi tama yung sinabi mo, Higlat, na nung panahon natin, medyo wala masyadong ganun eh. Wala masyadong ganun na tayo na nakikita. And now, ganito. So, parang, parang for me, maganda yung opportunities ng mga batang atleta.
Yes.
Actually, sa community natin.
Sa tingin ko, dadami pa sa next Olympics. No? Parami tayo.
Nakaka-excite.
Agree ako yung kay Marjorie pala. Parang sunshine siya sa Olympics.
Parang, diba? Wala siyang care. Kebs ko.
Pero she's very positive. She exudes positive vibes.
Bahala kayo dyan, diba? Wala siyang very, very unapologetic and very, very, true to herself. Very happy, lucky, diba? That's why we became friend.
Kaya nga, admire the kid. Maganda yung niya. Perspective niya sa...
Correct. And I'm sure maraming bata talaga na inspire sa inyong lahat dahil siguro sana kung may data tayo, ilan na ba nag-enroll ngayon sa mga sports ulit, di ba? Na parang tapos na yung mga, I'm not judging, pero kadalasan kasi naka-fit lang ang sagot ng bata. When I grow up, I want to become di ba? Yung audition na, doctor, lawyer, ganyan. Pero wala nagsasabi na, when I grow up, I want to become a boxer. I want to become an athlete or a skateboarder. Or I think it's good. I mean, it's
gamer,
giving, diba? A gamer. True gamer. So it's opening opportunities for everyone. So
yes, exactly.
And how do you see yourself like a few years from now in terms of like pushing for that kind of opening or that perspective sa mga kabataan ngayon? Anong nakikita mong role? Hindi kita pina-pressure. pero anong nakikita mong role mo in terms of bringing that kind of message to the younger generation na you can be true to yourself and still excel in what you do? And so in terms of your plans in the future, ano bang i-anticipate namin dapat?
In terms of doon sa part na parang inspiring the youth with that kind of mindset, ganyan. Siguro for me kasi ngayon I'm still on that honestly, I'm still on that journey also, trying to be true to myself. So ang pinaka nangyayari is that there are times I express it on my Facebook page, yung struggle, siguro yung gano'n, yung pinapakita ko na hindi lang na, how do you say it ba, na it's not all victories. It's not all, meron din talagang struggle, meron din talagang, how do you say it ba, challenges. And even if like, kunwari athletes would, I'm open to athletes messaging me na magtatanong about my journey. I would love that. I would love to have conversations with athletes Especially siguro sa community din natin, if meron man would want to message me, I'm open, walang problema. As for my plans in the near future, I see myself as an athlete pa for for a couple of years pa. And then I hope to give back to the sport when I decide to retire. I don't know yet if it would be if I want to be a coach or an official or siguro have my private practice. So I don't know yet. Siguro I'll just play it by ear na lang. But right now talaga I see myself muna as an athlete. But I've offered already coaching lessons to some ladies. I've offered free lessons for them. Although very konti pa lang yung time slot kasi medyo busy lalo na nung time ng 2019. But I'm slowly na-enjoy ko na mentoring. Na-enjoy ko na mentoring and giving back and inspiring the younger generation. Or kahit nga hindi younger, minsan nga I had a student who's a bit more mature than me. Pero I enjoy it also kasi baka she needed that change of environment.
Correct. Alam mo, yan ang nakakatuwa. Kasi kahit anong level na reach na isang tao, yung ability, generosity to give back, to mentor, I'm sure, Bane, ako, I mean, pag mentorship, hindi lahat ng tao gusto yan. Kasi parang, hindi ko kaya, nasa stress ako, I don't want But hearing it from you na you enjoy mentoring people, I mean, that's that's really, really good to know and na parang hindi ka nandoon sa taas.
True. Kasi, Ron, ang pinaka ko is learning. Yun talaga I think yung ko is that I love learning. And me mentoring kasi I learn also Kasi like nagre-research ako more and then when I encounter different students, parang nakikita ko kung ano yung pwedeng improve and then na-adapt ko rin sa game ko. So it's it's a give and take. Akala lang ng parang giving. But it's really it's yun nga yung sama kayo.
Yes.
Oo.
So hawak-hawak kamay lahat.
Yeah.
Grabe, but again, maraming salamat for your time. This kind of conversation needs to be replicated, especially for our community members. Alam ko nag-struggle halos lahat. We don't judge everyone in a pandemic. Mental health is a concern. Finding your passion, losing your creativity. So parang wala na, parang ano na ba? What's my purpose in life? I'm sure, learning from you na there were points you wanted to give up. Yeah. Marami sa atin, hindi lang years ago yon. Recent occurrences where we all felt we wanted to give up. But I think hawak kamay, laban, diba? Tama, Jel? So,
yes.
So there. If you have like last few messages or a few message you want to give to our viewers na Pride and Proud Asia, yung mga nakikinig, halo-halo mga nakikinig sa atin. But what do you want to tell them? And especially again on the importance of visibility, gender diversity, mga bagay.
Authenticity, diba?
And authenticity.
Yes.
If there's something lang na I would want to share is that we have our own struggles. Marami tayong pwedeng ako as an athlete or ako as sa gender preference ko, just know lang na meron at meron tutulong sa'yo. Just siguro parang wag lang mahiya and be open lang. And more importantly, that's why I mentioned that is because know that kung ano man yung pinagdaanan mo, this will be able to help someone. Itong journey mo. Kasi before, dati, nung mga pinagdadaanan ko yung mga experiences na yun na parang feeling ko ang low, iniisip ko, bakit pa ganun? But ngayon ko na-realize na pinagdaanan ko yun kasi pag meron ding dadaan doon, kaya kong bumalik and to tell this person na kaya ko, mukha lang na hindi kasi nandyan ka ngayon. Pero ganyan din ako nun. Ganyan din ako nun. Akala ko rin hindi ko kaya. But you'll be able to pull yourself out and looking back, ma-realize mo na, kailangan ko din yun. So kung ano man yung pinagdadaanan nyo ngayon, in any aspect of your life, know lang na it's something that you learn from. Of course, we always hear this, and it's something that someone can heal from, more important.
Salamat being healed from. Lahat tayo mag-heal. So,
Yes.
ano man ang pinagdaanan, mapapag-ibig, mapa-professional life, mapa-sports, sa lahat ng kabiguan, we will all heal from these experiences. Diba? So, thank you again, Bing, and I'm sure our audience learned a lot tonight, and definitely, hopefully, we'll see more of you in different platforms of the LGBT Chamber of Commerce. Excited kami na patuloy natin yung conversation na napakahalagang pag-usapan. Kasi nangyayari, nagiging secondary issue na lang. Nagiging, hindi importante na pag-usapan yung mga bagay-bagay on gender representation, like sensitivity, and how we can also excel in what we do regardless of our preferences. Diba? So I think napakahalaga na what you shared to us. So all our viewers, we will pause for a few minutes. We'll have a break, and please stay tuned at magbabalik ang Pride and Proud Asia. Maraming salamat, Bing, at makikita ka pa namin in the coming years. Siyempre, mag-share pa kami para sa iyo, di ba? At mag-share pa ako sa iyo ng buko juice sa resort. Pa nag-retire na. Sabay tayo mag-retire.
Yes. Pupuntahan kita talaga. May I also take this opportunity to thank you, Ron and Angel, for having me on your show, and to all the viewers. Maraming salamat also for being here and for your time. And I hope to see more of you guys.
Yes.
Gusto ko rin to be able to join events with you guys.
Thank you. So, if you want to promote, do you want to promote anything pala before we go for a break? Anything you'd like to promote, some activities na in the pipeline na dapat nilang sundan, subaybayan para sa iyo?
Well, right now what we're looking at is the SEA Games next year. So if I would just like to request for prayers and for your support sa mga atleta na lalahok sa SEA Games next year. I think it will be in May. Malaking bagay talaga yung prayers nyo. Dati like kung sinasabi is that for victory, but more importantly for safety.
Oh.
Yeah. So maraming salamat.
And we'll always pray for all the safety and the good health of our athletes. No? Bit nyo ang bandera ng Pilipinas. Alam mo naman sa LGBT, apart of us, yung mga beauty queens, beauty pageant, bit nila ang bandera. Kayo rin, bit nyo ang bandera ng Pilipinas. So we will be cheering sa lahat ng gagawin. Yes, SEA Games next year, guys, and stay tuned and we'll be back. So, dyan lang po tayo at marami po tayong pag-uusapan sa Pride and Proud Asia for tonight. Salamat!
We'll be back shortly. This is Pride and Proud Asia, only here on V81 Radio, Manila. Here now is the program for the millennials that will showcase young professionals' worth, aspirations, and successes in doing what they believe is right, progressive, and inclusive. Join them as they discover the path to self and societal fulfillment while making a difference. Hosted by empowered and cool millennial Erica Mizon, together with her fellow millennials, they will be making a difference. Only here on V81 Radio, Manila.
The program that gives you the latest in Filipino business and trend with Norm Challenging Brand, paving the way to be next generation business leaders. This is Talk Shop Asia Next Gen, connecting you to the future. Hosted by business and transformation mentor Rolly Pagaspas, franchise and business coach Don Senita, and beauty and business maven Muriel Villanueva. Jump into the business revolution every Sunday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. with Talk Shop Asia Next Gen. Big Media is all about life's journey.
Yung mga yun, mga bata pa sila dati nung nakakasama ko sila. So ngayon, sikat na sila.
In digital. Entertainment.
Maraming salamat po na nabigyan nyo kami ng opportunity.
Information. Story. Inspiration. And experiences. Whenever, wherever you want, welcome. Join us as we push the boundaries of possibility here with Big Media.
Now back to Pride and Proud Asia, only here on V81 Radio, Manila.
Welcome back to Pride and Proud Asia, where we put the spotlight on LGBT plus leadership and inspiring stories in business and beyond. Let's bring in our guest again and my co-host for tonight, Angel Romero, Winlove, Jing, and of course, Alex. So, maraming salamat at we're back. And for this portion, we'll be asking a lot of questions or may mga additional questions pa. Maybe Win has some concerns na gusto i-raise din, but gusto kong tuhugin lang yung sa sinabi ni, sorry, nakaka-inspire kasi yung kwento ni ni world champion Bingkay ang nickname niya, si Ruby Len. So I mean, mentor niya si Efren Bata Reyes, and how important for both of you ang mentor, guiding the younger generation, or you yourselves being guided by an older generation back then when you were starting? Gaano kahalaga yun ngayon? Alex, you would like to answer that first?
Sorry, I was on mute pala. Yes, sure. It's really important. Actually, I was listening to si Beng then also earlier. And I can relate. Siguro yung sa kanya lang, diba, yung parents niya were there to serve as mentors also, to serve as yung support system. Unfortunately, I didn't have that, pero more of siguro external, yung naging support, but it's really important. Siguro everything na yun I'm doing now with Ultimate, kahit yung campaigns, I was very fortunate na I found mentors na talagang who could really understand yung my passion for what I do. I mean, aside from the sport itself, yung advocacies that come with it. I was really fortunate to find yun nga, people who support me and people who teach me things na aligned yung principles namin na parang kami naniniwala na sports is beyond sports. So it was yes, it was it's a wonderful thing. It's really important. I can't stress that enough talaga. And I'm very grateful now na talagang nandyan sila every step of the way, from yung mga technical aspect of being an athlete, ganyan, na how to do certain things, how to progress in our sport. And aside from that, outside of the field, na how do we progress in terms of the campaign naman. So, ayun, it's marami mga bagay. I mentioned earlier that we're taking on so many campaigns, but because I have really good mentors, I have really good support system, it becomes more manageable.
That's true. Jing, ikaw, anong tingin mo about mentorship? Meron ka bang mini-mentor na ngayon naman ng mga kabataan?
So far, ngayon wala talaga. Pero for me, yung mentorship is really important. Like, kung ano sinabi niya ni Alex. Kasi for me, life is a long learning process. Hindi naman kung ano lang nabasa mo, kung ano lang napalad mo, yun na yun eh. It's important kasi parang may principles ako na yung parang pagbabasa ng book is better kung makausap mo yung mentor mo in one sitting kasi for example sa sports, diba? Hindi lang kung paano ka mag-excel sa ginagawa mo, but outside sa sport, particularly sa Dragon Boat, siyempre importante yung support system sa if you're giving up na, napapagod ka na in life or whatsoever, kung ano yung pinagdadaanan, it's really important na may support system ka para ma-update ka, ma-nurture pa kung ano yung meron ka. So, yeah.
Great. Angel, you would like to add anything?
Siguro, itawid ko lang sa another question siguro. So, yung mentor talaga mahalaga. Now, we saw also na sinabi ni Bing kanina yung authenticity. As women and as part of the community, how important is really being authentic to your true selves?
Uh, Also, I can't stress how important that is also. Kaya yun nga, with this campaign, we took this on with that in mind, actually. I mentioned earlier now we're in the process of fighting for our own space within the community. And that entails fighting for a safe space, no, where we can be ourselves and our authentic selves. Na wala yung fear of being discriminated against or being abused or anything to that effect. So, importante siya talaga kasi nakita namin yun eh. I like ko sinasabi, like with my teammates, hindi natin pwedeng i-exclude yung tingnan yung athletes ng, okay, sige, laro lang, tapos okay na. Maraming aspects yan eh. There's an emotional aspect to that, a mental, psychological aspect. You have to see how those are interconnected. Hindi mo pwedeng iwala yung athlete dun sa identity nila and expect them to perform excellently. And as national athletes, actually, yun yung lagi naming sinestress dun sa players and how we handle players. Na we have to care about and we have to look after each other. Na we have to make sure na may safe spaces itong mga athletes, itong national athletes. Kasi wala parang hindi ito yung pupunta lang tayo sa kung saan, tapos maglalaro lang, titigil na doon. There are so many things surrounding that na mental health, itong identity issues and stuff na kailangan you have to look into because if again I mentioned earlier, if you want an athlete to be able to perform ng peak level talaga, ng sobrang national athlete level talaga, na kailangan okay sila sa lahat ng aspect and kasama yan yung identity issue na yan. So it's really for safe spaces for us to be authentic.
Perfect. Jing, ikaw, are you authentic in what you do? Di ba?
Of course naman. Kasi for me, kasi ako, sobrang love ko talaga ng Dragon Boat. Whatever happens, Dragon Boat talaga. Parang, like, kapag, paano ko ba explain? Parang, it's like, kunyari, parang safe space mo yun. And then you need to be yourself parang loving the sport, tapos parang loving yourself as well. Yun.
Great. I think maganda mag-end tayo sa message of authenticity, no? Kasi ano mang pinapursue mo sa buhay, you just really have to live your truth. Diba? True. It's so hard. It's so hard to be, sa panahon ng fake news, napakahirap na may iba ka pang layers sa sarili mo. Yep. Now you're not showing your true self. So I think we're very, very inspired. Alex, Jing, nakakatuwa yung mga advocacy, Alex. I mean, we're very interested to find out how else we can help your advocacy. Let's definitely move the conversation forward. We'll reach out again on this one because fighting for gender rights, fighting for visibility, for our space, really, really matters, diba? So I guess we're moving to the end part. Win, what should our audience and viewers expect in the coming weeks for our next few episodes?
Hello. Hi. So yeah, like what we had tonight, we had a very great episode, and I was so enlightened. Dun sa sinabi ni Jing and Alex, no? Being an athlete is not just playing a game. You bring yourself into that game. And for you to be a very good athlete, dapat yung wellness mo well-rounded, hindi lang physically but mentally and emotionally. So, of course, we expect more representation from the LGBT community. You'd like to invite everybody who's listening out there. You are an LGBT, you're a business owner, you want to be featured, please message us so that we can feature you in our show. Jel?
Yes, and follow us on our Facebook pages. You can see that on the screen. We have a website. That's a pretty website, lgbtchamberph.org. And then in the next one, you'll see naman our social media assets. So we are present on Instagram, Facebook, of course, LinkedIn, and then you can email us at the secretariat, so lgbtph.secretariat@gmail.com. And of
Thank you,
course,
Angel.
the program email, so prideandproudasia@gmail.com.
That-
Yep,
Thank you,
Ron.
Angel. Let's ask for a final message from Alex and Jing. What they want to share tonight to their viewers. Naaalalahanin ng mga nakikinig at makikinig pa ng episode na to sa darating na mga araw bago sila matulog. Jing, umpisan ko sa iyo. Any message to our final message to our
Tsaka kung may
viewers?
promote sila.
And promote please. Yes, please promote.
May business or kung ano man. Go ahead.
Sige, may message to all the viewers, no? Isa lang may sabi ko, we need to uplift and nurture this community by building a strong and supportive society talaga. Yun talaga yung pinaka-importante. And then number 2, huwag kayong matakot mag-jump out or lumabas sa comfort zone. Be true to yourself or, di ba, kung ano man yung hindi mo hindi mo masabi na lesbiana ka, bakla ka, huwag kang matakot gawin. Kasi as an athlete, kasi yun yung nagiging inspiration ka na to others eh. So, dagdagan pa natin yun. Gawin pa natin, maging inspiration pa tayo sa ibang tao or sa aspirant athletes or LGBTQ aspirant athletes para maging inspiration or lumabas sa ating comfort zone natin. So yun, gusto ko lang i-plug din, if you wanna join our Dragon Boat team, and message nyo lang yung site ng Dragon Boat Racing team sa Facebook. So we have Facebook page and then Instagram. Also, if you're into cycling, then don't hesitate to join us at Esteban Cycling Community. It's in Esteban, Makati. So, message nyo lang kami if you want to join us a ride, or go to Yardstick lang every weekend. So, yun. Doon kami naging para mag-ride or kwentuhan.
Thank you.
May IATF safety protocols pa din naman.
Correct. Huwag masyokot. Huwag masyokot. Oo.
Dragon boat.
Mag-dragon boat tayo. Oo, nako. Nasali ako mag-ano lang ako, sa sunblock lang. So, hindi na
Mag-cycling
ako
ka, ganun din,
masyokot.
may initan ka din.
Alex, any last few message ating mga viewers and listeners?
Yeah, I just want to share, yung campaign that the Binibinis has right now. This is what the campaign we're taking to the World Championships next year,
Wow.
April in California. This will be the Worlds for Beach Ultimate. It's actually gonna be our first women's team for beach, to go to Worlds. So it's really a milestone for us, and it's very important that itong campaign that we're taking there very close to home. Yun nga, nabanggit ko kanina yung tayo or tayo para sa babae. It's an anti-sexual violence and anti-gender-based discrimination campaign. And I guess it's really our message, and my message right now is, kaya ito yun, yung tayo. We recognize that in tackling this issue, kailangan inclusive we, regardless of race, age, SOGI, SC, and then kaya tayo, because it's really time to stand up for women's rights or LGBTQIA plus communities' rights. Very timely na to within our community, and more so outside of the community. We really have to do something about it now. So I hope you all support us. You can follow us on Facebook, Binibinis Ultimate, and then Binibinis PH yung handle namin sa IG. Buy our merch also, yung mga tayo para sa babae shirts. We have tote bags, masks, crop tops, muscle tees. Ayan, mga ganon. Baka gusto nyo.
Yes,
you can
yes.
find that. May Shopee page kami, Binibinis PH then. So, follow us there, and then we'll wait for more updates on the campaign also. You'll find it on our social media accounts.
Okay, perfect. Thank you
Ron,
very much, Alex. Yes,
Ron,
Jeff.
bumili din ako kay Alex ng coaster. Ang ganda ng mga coaster niya. I-promote mo din yung coaster
Oo
mo.
nga eh. Hindi ko pa nakita yung mga merch. Pero
Ang ganda.
offline, we'll ask for the link so we can also promote kung saan sila pwede mag-shop, mag-order, etc. ng mga merch. No? So, kailangan niya support each other sa panahon ng pandemya. Sino ba magtutulungan kundi tayo lamang, di ba? So, with that, maraming salamat. Nakakataba ng puso na nandiyan ka, Alex, nandiyan ka, Jing. Mabuhay kayong dalawa, and also mabuhay to Bingkay for joining us. And please catch the next episode of Pride and Proud Asia next Saturday. And this program is again brought to you by the Philippine LGBT Chamber of Commerce in partnership with V81 Radio Manila. Once again, Angel.
This is Angel. Take up space and be kinder. And Doc Win?
This is Winlove, your Skin Sensei, saying, huwag pumunta sa mga kulob na lugar na kamamatay.
Correct. And of course, Ron, your chief Rampa Officer, na-miss ko talaga si Win, yung mga kulob-kulob na lugar niya. Your chief Rampa Officer saying, pride mo, irampa mo. Pride and Proud Asia.
Use your voice.
Use your
happy
voice.
Pride. Happy Pride, everyone. Salamat, Alex, Jing. Happy
Thank
Pride.
you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Please, stay safe.
Welcome to Pride and Proud Asia, Asia's first online radio show that champions LGBT contribution and leadership in business and in our country and the region. Hosted by the Philippine LGBT Chamber of Commerce, visibility, representation, and empowerment. This is Pride and Proud Asia. Happy Pride! Tunog Pinoy, Tatak Pinoy, your all hits, all Pinoy digital radio station in South Manila. This is V81 Radio.
Ito ang paborito ng bawat Pilipino. Basta all hits, all Pinoy, panalo. Merong kwentong iyakan at tawanan. Kahit nasaan ka man, ito'y mapapakinggan. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Dahil mahal namin kayo. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio.